Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connection that I want to adopt with you, hopefully, is with the 94th Academy Awards. Okay? If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all my social medias, Twitter and Instagram at A Connection TV. But we got to get into some things. We got to talk about it real quick. Now, usually, I stopped doing reviews about real life stuff because usually I have the unpopular opinion. And after a while, it's like, why talk, you know? But I wanted to talk about it because I feel some sort of way about this particular year's Academy Awards. I really, really do. And it's a little personal for me. So I wanted to talk about it. Whether it's the unpopular opinion or not, I don't really care because everybody has an opinion, right? Just like everybody has an a-hole. Anyways, I have to say that Will Packer did a great job putting this year's Oscars together. He produced the Oscars. I didn't know that. And I could see it now, right? Because black was sprinkled all over this, right? And it was appreciated, but then again, I was like, what's happening here? Because it's not normal. It's not, you don't see, DJ Khaled come out talking about, we the best, and, give it up, and all that. It's just that energy, that black energy was exuding from the very beginning, especially with the amazing Beyonce starting off the show. But once I realized that Will Packer was the producer, I was like, okay, I could see why things are moving the way that they're moving. I could see Beyonce hitting this, starting us off with a phenomenal performance. Beyonce is Beyonce because she is Beyonce, period. And you can't be one of those people that want to argue the fact. You just can't. Great performance by Beyonce. She did a phenomenal job. Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, and Regina Hall. This is the first time that I've watched the Oscars and have laughed this much. Or I can't remember the last time where I've laughed this much. This year's at the Oscars was one where it was just like you could not have a sensitive bone in your body. The stuff that Amy Schumer and Wanda Sykes and Regina Hall was saying, I was like, what? Oh, what? Oh, but I was laughing at every little bit of it. Laughing, okay? So it was just like, wow, this is what we're doing. All right, cool. Okay, yeah. Everybody looked amazing. All of the presenters looked amazing. The outfits, the set, the way they put everything together from honoring Samuel L. Jackson, which, by the way, I can't really understand why everybody loves him the way that they do. Unpopular opinion. He's cool, but I feel like Samuel L. Jackson is just about 85% of his films. So it is what it is. I used to think that way about Denzel Washington until I saw more Denzel Washington films, and I was like, no, he's doing his thing. But anyways, needless to say, I'm happy that he was honored. Congratulations to him. The memoriam was amazing. Honoring White Men Can't Jump all the way to Godfather, all the way to, Bond, it's 60 years of Bond. I just knew in my heart of hearts that they were going to introduce a new Bond at the end of that trailer, but they did not. And so I was like, Is Idris Elba going to be the next Bond? Is they going to show a clip of him being the next Bond, and then boom, here we are? But they didn't. So, everything was going well, and every presenter had a zinger in their, commentary. Every host that came out had a zinger in their commentary. And I really feel like the three hosts did a phenomenal job. Okay? And they talked about a lot of relative things to today, especially with the don't say gay bill that's been passed in Florida, and they were like, gay. Shout out to all of the winners. I really wish that Ingenue would have won something this award year, but she didn't win anything. Being nominated is great. Okay, she could say she's an Oscar-nominated actress. She's nominated in just about every category. Coda won for a lot of awards, all of that. But just so you can understand why I took this award show personally. I took this award show personally because I watched King Richard. I loved King Richard. I am a product of a broken home, a single parent broken home. Not having both parents in your life plays an effect on you. And in talking about me specifically, it played a huge effect on me and my upbringing and how I am today with receiving love and just the family dynamic, right? It's kind of like non-existent with me. So in watching Ingenue's performance, Will Smith's performance, I was captivated, motivated, creatively, personally, spiritually, all of that. Just a rewarding and awarding performance for me to watch as a viewer and a filmmaker, right? And so I've been following the journey of King Richard, very appreciative of the film and the work that all of the actors did. So, to find out that Will Smith was nominated in just about he was nominated in every award show this year, won every award this year, nominated for. And, I'm like, yes, Will, yes, Will, yes, Will, you're going to do it. You got Academy's going to give him the award. Why not? Why would they be known for really effing up this when every award ceremony has given Will Smith the award, right? And so I'm, anticipating the awards coming up. I'm ready. Here we go. Let's go. I got to remember to record it because I'm usually forgetful as I'm getting older. And I'm like, boom, it's ready to go. I took a nap. I'm up. Let's watch the awards. I actually watched the entire thing trying to get to the end, but DVR does not keep the full, production, the full program, especially when it's live. You miss the last 7 or 10 minutes because for whatever reason, DVR can't figure out when it was actually over and you miss it. So I missed the pivotal awards, the top 3. Best Picture, which was awarded to Coda, great. Best Actress, Jessica Chastain, cool. Best Actor, Will Smith. I missed it, right? But before we even get to that part, there's a moment where Chris Rock comes up on stage. I'm chuckling, he's making me laugh. He has a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. And I laugh and the reason why I laugh is because Jada Pinkett Smith is gorgeous. Regardless of her having alopecia and all of what's going on with her health-wise, she's the fountain of youth, okay? So it's not like she has any clear physical signs besides the loss of her hair about her illness. So when I look at Jada, I don't get she's ill. I get she's gorgeous, right? And there's a lot of history between her and her husband because of the whole entanglement thing. Sucks publicly, but it's reality because everyone in all relationships, they have issues, right? Neither here nor there. So when he said the joke, I chuckled because I, at the time, didn't even know anything about alopecia and her having it. I just figured that she was talking about G.I. Jane because she's bald, but she's a badass. That's what I got from the joke. Unbeknownst to me, Jada didn't like it. You could see Jada's response from it, like, I ain't really here for this. And so I'm like, oh, what's happening here? And then out of nowhere, you see Will Smith walking up to Chris Rock. And I'm like, okay, Will Smith's going to take the mic. But they didn't have a mic, but whatever. Will Smith's going to push him out the way and say something, funny. Be Will Smith. But oh no. Will Smith smacks Chris Rock. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, this was a cool little act. This was funny. Ha ha. But then my screen stopped. And it skipped. And it was skipping. And then the audio dropped. And then, you see Will Smith change from Will Smith to going crazy, right? And it's bleeping out. And then you can see the stunning, beautiful, Jesus, what's her name? You can see Lupita Nyong'o's face, like, and so in my mind, I'm like, okay, wait, is this real? What's happening here? What's going on here? And then it skips, and then it stops, right? So and he's like, hey, it was a joke. It wasn't that bad or whatever. And then after that, Chris Rock is caught completely off guard the rest of his, his moment being on stage. And he's like, oh, just get to the nominees. And I'm like, wait a minute, this was real. So of course I have to go online and I have to go searching for it. A lot of y'all probably have already seen it already. I'm late, whatever. And so I find it and I see it and I watch it and I hear him say, keep my wife's name out your in mouth. Keep my wife's name out your in mouth. And Chris is like, all right, cool. All right, I won't mention the name again. Whoa. Mind blown. So my DVR didn't get the whole speech, so I'm looking for a speech. Because I'm like, even so many people, the energy shifted after that. Like the energy completely shifted after that. And P. Diddy came out and he made a reference. He was like, y'all, we're going to be family at the gold party. We got to talk about this and make sure we're squared away. I want to know what the conversations were like in that little front section there. Because wow. Like there's so many oftentimes comedians say everything. They spill it out. Like if you're a comic, you just get to spill out crap. And everybody's supposed to just accept it because you're a comic and you get to spill out crap. That's what we know. But wait, now you can't anymore because Will Smith has made it known that you can react to what a comedian says about your personal life. And it doesn't matter what kind of telecast you're on, Academy Awards or the BET Awards, you can respond and react because it's accepted now. And I'm like, okay. I want to see what he's saying in this speech because now I'm caught off guard. As a supporter, as Will Smith being the only person in Hollywood that I even want to meet, I'm caught off guard now because I want to know what's going on in here. I want to understand this, or try to. So I get to the speech. I had to watch it online because my DVR cut off. And then boom, he's crying, he's emotional, he's flabbergasted. And I can imagine what's going on in this brain of his. He is royalty, Hollywood royalty, and the only thing that's going to be talked about tonight is Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. That's the only thing that's going to be talked about tonight. Wow, right? Wow. What are people thinking about this moment? Okay. I'm listening to his speech and he's talking about love and fight and protect and love. I'm like, brother, you're slighted on that love aspect. Chris Rock is known for being Chris Rock. All of the comedians said horrible things about everybody. But what Chris Rock said about your wife struck a chord with you and you felt compelled to get on stage and smack the crap out of him. And kudos to Chris Rock for not reacting because that would have went crazy left had it been, I don't know, who else would have just sat there and taken that. And I'm gonna get my brother of mine on phone because he has some great commentary to talk about that moment. But I'm gonna get him on the phone now. But if that would have been a white man, I'm black. My conversation and my thought process always derives from my blackness and being in America. So everything is always 9.9 times out of 10 thought of first because of the life we live on this planet, right? So then those kinds of thoughts come up. Black man attacking black man. It's just automatic. What if Chris Rock was white? Would Will Smith have done that? All types of stuff just comes to mind. And we will never know because the scenario that played out was that Chris Rock is a black man and he got attacked by Will Smith, who is another black man. Some of y'all may be like, none of that matters. But it does. It does. Period. Because we're black. And our blackness will always matter. At least in our lifetimes. I don't know when it's not anymore. But anyway, let me see if I can get Harold on the phone.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
So, I'm talking briefly about this situation about the Oscars. I spoke about, how good I feel the Oscars were this tonight, the 94th anniversary, 94 years of this. Amazing. Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall, spectacular. Beyonce performance, all that, right? But none of that matters because now, all we're going to be talking about is the fact that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And so, I want the people that are going to watch this video to get a different perspective because they always get my perspective because I'm always the one on film. What do you think, sir, about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in an attempt to defend Jada Pinkett Smith's honor because she has alopecia? And by the way, I do want to mention that Harold is a black man on the phone right now. So go ahead, sir.
Yes, besides the farce that was the comedic side of the Oscars, which I thought was, very, entertaining with, as you aforementioned, Wanda Sykes and Amy Schumer, Regina Hall. Chris Rock's bit was really funny, and when you're dealing with a comedian, you're dealing with jokes, and you're dealing with, a lot of comedians going to say what they say in jest, and because it's a joke, everybody just laughs, and everybody's open fodder. They're everybody's a target. They talked about Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem and all them too. So they weren't the only ones being joked about. But when Chris Rock said the joke about Jada Pinkett, I didn't have the backstory yet about her being diagnosed with alopecia, so I didn't know that yet. I just thought when I first saw her, and when they panned the camera onto that, her and Will looked great, and she looked good with low-cut hair. I thought she just cut her hair off. I didn't know, so I was like, oh, she looks good. She's doing a different look. She looks really good. So I didn't even think about the fact that she had her hair was cut. But then he made an off-putting joke to her, and the reason why you do it was off-putting to her because it was obvious, because her face, they panned the camera back to her and you could see her look like, no, Chris, you didn't just say that. He said, yeah, and I'll see you in G.I. Jane too, and then everybody's like, oh, he was like, oh, I could have said worse, that was nothing, and then she looked bad, and Will kind of chuckled a little uneasy, and then the camera didn't show us those two again, whatever was said, to get Will to get up and walk towards Chris Rock and slap him. And so I was like, wait a minute, is this staged? But the way he did it was so, quick that I was like, after a while, you're like, nah, that wasn't staged. And I saw Jada's face, and then it come back to him, and you could see they cut the sound, but you could see Chris Rock say, wow, Will just smacked the SHIT out of me. And then Will said, keep my wife's effing name out your mouth. And then he said that twice. It was what you were telling me, but I saw him say it once on camera. And then I was like, well, wait a minute here. Hold on. This was supposed to be all in good fun and good jest. And now all of a sudden you're getting up and you're going to walk and slap Chris Rock. So I was thinking, okay, because my very first thought was, all right, Chris, well, you asked for that one because, you jumped on her. She didn't like it. She looked like she didn't like it. Oh, well, sorry. What can you say? Will started talking about when he got up for his acceptance speech that he had to protect his family. So people were like, wow, Will took that hard. But then I thought about it again with a good mind after I kind of replayed it. And I was like, that's still for Will's level of where he is. And I know people say humans are humans at the end of the day. And it's true. We're all human. But you are Hollywood royalty. You're sitting in the front. You're nominated for Best Actor. That's one of the three biggest awards they pay attention to: Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Picture, and your establishment in Hollywood, white people, black people, Asian people, Latin people love you. You know, why comport yourself in a way that's beneath your dignity? And he did. He got up, and he did not have to put hands on that man. And I just look at it from that perspective. You didn't have to do that. I understand the honor part. Now that I understand about the alopecia, that's a little rough. But at the same token, you didn't have to put hands on that man. You know, you could have handled it again, you know, at the gold party like P. Diddy was talking about. Let's handle this like family at the gold party later on. Maybe we can make up. But he should have handled it outside of that venue. And instead now, him winning the award for Best Actor is eclipsed now by the slap heard around the world. So now you got Chris Rock eye bleeding, you know, a face bleeding. There was some kind of cut from there, and then, you know, people are going to be talking about Will defending his wife's honor. I see both sides, but one side is clear that Will, a night that was intended to celebrate only the third black man? No, wait a minute. Fourth black man winning Best Actor? No, I gotta get it right. I think the fifth black man. I was like, wait, it's been more black men winning than black women. But I know, because Halle Berry is still the only black woman to win Best Actress. But anyway, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Forrest Whitaker for Idi Amin won Best Actor. Jamie Foxx, Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier, and now Will Smith is like the fifth black man to win for Best Actor.
It's four. It's four.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 black men. How many black actors have won Best Actor? Yeah.
4.
Yes, it's 4.
So it's Denzel, Sidney Poitier, Denzel, Jamie Foxx,
and now
Will Smith.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, no, Forrest. No, so he's the 5th. So in addition to Poitier and Washington, Jamie Foxx and Forrest Whitaker for The Last King of Scotland won. So he's the 5th.
That's what I said. Okay, I was
he's
right.
the 5th.
I was right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the 5th. So but that's not a lot in the 3,000 some odd awards handed out in the history of the Academy. There's only 5 black men that won Best Supporting Actor. So for you to be number 5, that's a big achievement. And 2022, and that's eclipsed by you slapping Chris Rock or assaulting another black man, black on black crime. Here we go. Can't take black people nowhere. That's the whole thing we're gonna hear, you know. And I understand people are sensitive about people's issues and diseases and titles and all that other stuff in this day and time, but it doesn't warrant you putting your hands, because all that does is just take away the shine for what we're supposed to be celebrating, which is the fact that you won Best Actor, and also Samuel Jackson and a couple other, Danny Glover, black actors who got Lifetime Achievement Awards or Governor Awards or whatever, and that's going to be eclipsed by what? This whole thing. This is going to be the biggest thing that people talk about on Twitter, and everything else is an unplanned slap from Will Smith. And I know the Academy is going to let him back. All of that stuff, like you said, is probably not going to affect him as much as public opinion, and then Hollywood may have some backlash from it. He's, like you said, going to have to go through a tour of probably apologies for what he's done. But from my perspective, I think that I understand defending Jada. That's wonderful. But you could have done it a different way. You could have done it privately. You could have handled Chris Rock later, you know, and not done that on that venue in front of everybody. It just didn't make much sense, you know. And to me, you know, it was really laughable, because Amy Schumer didn't say directly, but she came out and said, I was still trying to get out of that Spider-Man outfit. Did I miss something? She said, because it's a little tense in here. Yeah, the vibe, I'm feeling the vibe a certain way. And so Tiffany Haddish kind of like, you know, pointed to her like, girl, you know what happened. But it was that type of
the energy just dropped completely after that happened. And the one thing that I grabbed from or one of the things that I grabbed from Will's acceptance speech was the fact that Denzel he said that Denzel told him minutes before that the devil's going to come at your highest moment in your career. And he literally did, because I personally don't think that he's going to have a quick bounce back from that, because this is just going to be something added on to his neck. Or then again, because comedians get away with being able to talk about everybody anytime and nobody being able to say anything about it, maybe a lot of the celebrities were like, that's what Chris Rock got. Because to be honest, I wish, we would have did that a long time ago, when these comedians be up here talking not the way they be talking. So I don't know. It could go both ways. But now I really feel like this is giving people the energy or the fuel to smack the taste out of a comedian whenever they say something that they don't like.
I agree, and I think that that's bad for the art. Dave Chappelle was saying that on his last show. I mean, Dave Chappelle got all that backlash from what he said on his show about transsexuals, LGBTQ community, and he had a friend, and he was telling that story, and people came against him. I'm sorry, you cannot blast the art. The art of being a comedian includes jesting and joking about someone and making jokes about someone. You cannot take that seriously. If you do, you ruin the art of comedic stand-up. And if you do, then you might as well take every comedic person out of the realm of comedy, because they all have done that, or they all if they don't do that and that's not their shtick, they have done it. So I think you need to realize that comedy is just that. It's comedy. I have cousins that like to sit up in the front when they go to comedy shows just so they can be heckled on. They love it because they just laugh. They know it's about laughing. They know everybody is going to take pot shots at them, and they don't care because they said that's what it's all about. We know people who do it. Cedric the Entertainer does it in fun. D.L. Hughley does it in fun. There's some people that are really good at it. Monique may do it sometimes. You'll pick on one person in the front and just talk to that person and talk back to them. But comedians do that, and it's part of their whole routine. Chris Rock is a comedian. He come out there, he talk about everybody. Amy Schumer, talk about everybody. Regina Hall is a comedian actress as well. She's done Scary Movie. They talk about everybody. Wanda Sykes is a comedian. So these people are comic relief people that have endeavored also to do other things, because Amy Schumer and Regina Hall are good at movies. Wanda Sykes has done some too. But they're the three of them were their comedic timing was great, and I thought that they talked about people indirectly too.
They did.
Right?
They did. So
the thing is, if you take that from comedians, you might as well just take comedians out of being a host. Don't let them be a host. Let it be serious all the time, because if you're gonna get mad at everything a comedian says, if you're that sensitive, then you just don't need to come, or you need to decide to really look at whether you want comedy as an art.
I really believe that
it's taking things that otherwise.
Yeah, I really believe that Will Smith just made it easy to pimp slap comedians. We have a tweet from Mike Clemens. Says the hosts for next year's Academy Awards show have already been announced: Mike Tyson, Ronda Rousey, and Jerry Springer. We have another tweet. Says, considering how hosts are now available to get smacked by nominees, Ricky Gervais better never host again. People are just gonna make, this is about to be a laughing stock. I really feel. I think it's gonna be. Actually, there's probably gonna be a multitude of situations that come out of this. It being funny, backlash, and then praise for a husband defending his wife, even though we all know about the crazy scandal that has been surrounding their marriage. But I didn't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna end this video off by saying that you guys really, I want to hear what you guys think about this whole situation regarding Will Smith. On one side of things, I understand him defending his wife. But on another side, I look at Will Smith entirely differently. Like I was saying, I believe that this situation could have been handled more positively, and the entire award ceremony is eclipsed by the decision that Will Smith made by slapping Chris Rock. And my question is to you, Harold, and to the audience watching, put a comment below. Do you feel that Will Smith owes Chris Rock an apology? And then we'll close off on that.
I think that it wouldn't hurt. I think that Chris Rock not saying anything is probably a wise decision because it's just going to add fuel to the fire. But I think that Will Smith owing him an apology, giving him an apology, will be a good move to just smooth everything over, say it was out of character for him or whatever, and then let bygones be bygones, keep it moving. And I also disagree that people should just be slapping comedians because you're going to set a precedent that cannot be overturned or undone. You need to leave comedians, let comedians do the round of comedians, take one for the team, and sit down and stop being so sensitive. I think when comedians go beyond or too far, let the public do the backlash or the outcry and let them deal with that. But that's not for the people in the audience or the people that are the place for discussion, because then that sets a different precedent, and then nobody has the freedom to do anything anymore. You still have to let the freedom, comedians have the freedom to be comedians. So unless it's just terrible, like you're cussing them out or saying something defamatory, there's no reason why you can't just take a joke, and if it's not vulgar or bad taste, but that was just simply a joke, and she's beautiful enough and regal enough to let that slide off of her, because I don't care what she may have been diagnosed with. She looks good with long hair.
She looks gorgeous. She looks gorgeous. Right. And that's what I was saying in my video. Like, Jada Pinkett is the fountain of youth. So, I mean, I don't understand why. Anyways, one last thing that I want y'all to discuss is, or just talk about, is I feel bad for Chris Rock. I feel bad because he was publicly, worldly, internationally embarrassed and humiliated for doing his job. And to be humiliated, and a lot of people don't like when I do this or say this, but to be humiliated by another black man, and that on that stage, that historically known for not respecting and appreciating the art that black people bring to the world, is just so, for me, it's like adding salt to the wound for me. And again, I know that people don't like to, that's black, it's not always about race. But for me, I feel like it is always about race, because black people have always, child, don't let me, that'll be a whole nother video.
Well, Chris Rock's crime was that he was too funny tonight, and he was so funny he got a taste slapped out his mouth, and that's a good compliment, because to be honest, everybody was laughing at everything he said until that slap came, and they were like, "Wait, what happened?" But everything was funny. He came out rolling. He came out with a determination. I might not be the host this year, but y'all gonna remember I used to host it, and why y'all paid me to host it, because Chris Rock is hilarious, and I didn't really like Chris Rock's point of view on comedy a lot. I don't laugh a lot at him, but tonight I must say I laughed at everything he said and the three ladies. But Chris Rock was the funniest one tonight. I mean, he was on a roll. And then when he got to Will and Jada close with them, it was a slap heard around the world. But hey, that's what you get. I guess you get what you get when your mouth slick like that sometimes. But I don't think he deserved it. I think it was unwarranted. It was an overreaction. And Will need to think about it and issue an apology, and let's move on, as they will. Because people love Will so much that by the time he received his award, people were clapping and standing up and shouting, and forgot that he had just slapped this man a few minutes ago. Or maybe not forgot, but ignored the fact that he slapped this man.
And that's crazy. That's just crazy. This is altogether crazy. But anyways, I want y'all to sound off in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I am Wesley from AK Nation TV, and hopefully we can adopt similar connections despite our differences. Deuces.
My soul.